Hi everyone, Adam here. 2019 is over. It's now officially 2020, but I thought I'd count down my top 10 favourite movies from, 2019. But first off, give special mention to three that just didn't make it, but I did like all these movies. Rambo Last Blood got a critical drubbing, but I enjoyed it. I mean, one of the complaints online was that it was really violent. It's like those people who've never seen a Rambo movie before, I guess. Another one I really did enjoy was Ready or Not. It was kind of a pretty unique spin on a horror film. Had an out there premise, and the dark humour really helped. Another one, I think it was made in 2018, but wasn't released here until 2019. That was the Australian horror, sci-fi, cyberpunk, bit of everything. Necrotronic, very entertaining, very funny. I can recommend Necrotronic. Now time for my top 10. Number 10 is Fighting With My Family, the story of Paige the wrestler who came from the Indies in England and made it to the big time in the WWE. The thing about it is it's actually quite funny, but it's also has some emotional moments, and the acting by Florence Pugh, but she's really good in it, and the supporting cast is very good too. Lena Headey as her mother, but the standout here is Nick Frost. And of course, Vince Vaughn is very good. And of course, there's a couple of moments with Dwayne Johnson. Very entertaining, very funny. If you don't like wrestling, I think you can still enjoy it. It's got a very good story about an underdog trying to make it. So, next up, Terminator Dark Fate. Another movie that got, by people online, people online just thought it was woke, which I never understood because it had strong women and but it's a shame it failed because I did enjoy it. Of course, it's not as good as Terminator 2, but I think it's a pretty good continuation of that timeline because the Terminator films have been all over the place and they haven't all been bad, but this should have been a success, but people complaining about, there's a female character in it for some reason, and then it's woke. But if you have a look at the Terminator films, especially Terminator 2, Sarah Connor was a strong female woman, so I don't know what people were complaining about with this one. It's just ridiculous. Number 8, Alita Battle Angel. This is the sci-fi directed by Robert Rodriguez. It's kind of different to what he usually does, but he does a really good job in this, and the look of the film is just great. It's a futuristic set movie, and the acting by let me just check, by Rosa Salazar, who plays Alita, a female cyborg suffering amnesia, does a really good job. She's kind of a likable character who's still a badass, and there's some pretty decent action scenes, and the look of the film is fantastic too. At number 7, Spider-Man Far From Home. A very good movie after Avengers Endgame kind of lightened things up after some of the things that had happened in previous film that had happened in Endgame, and did a very good job of, continuing the story but making the story its own Spider-Man thing. And Jake Gyllenhaal was very good in here as Mysterio. Tom Holland, who's a very good Peter Parker and Spider-Man, getting the whole kind of geeky but still a superhero thing down pat. Is he the best cinema Spider-Man? It's up for debate, but he's really good. At least he looks like he's a teenager when the other two, nothing against them, they were both pretty good. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, they look like adults. At number 6, Toy Story 4, a really good continuation of the Toy Story saga. Very funny. Forky is a new great addition. As you expect, the voice work from Tom Hanks and Tim Allen is top notch. And also Annie Potts as Little Bo Peep, she's really good in this too. Yeah, of course, visually excellent as you'd expect from Pixar. Number 4, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 9th film from Quentin Tarantino, which focuses on an almost washed-out actor, Rick Dalton, who used to be a movie star but now is reduced to doing guest spots on TV shows. Always by his side is his stuntman, played by Brad Pitt. And of course, Margot Robbie as Shannon Tate. So those three all give good performances. Is it self-indulgent? Maybe a little bit, but Tarantino's always been a bit self-indulgent, let's be honest. But I did enjoy it. It is very dialogue heavy, which might annoy some people, but you know going in you're going to get a lot of dialogue with a Tarantino film. I can't say too much, I don't want to ruin the ending if you haven't seen it. Number 3, John Wick 3, a very good continuation from John Wick 1 and 2. Keanu Reeves is always excellent. In the John Wick movies, you get what you expect, which isn't a bad thing. Of course, Lawrence Fishburne is in this again. And the action scenes are top-notch. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Number 2, Avengers Endgame, the continuation from Infinity War. Not as much action as Infinity War. Things have they slow the pace down a bit, which isn't too bad, but it does tie most of the loose ends up, and it does end some story arcs from the movies, which probably end those story arcs in a pretty satisfying way. And at number 1, a movie that got a lot of hate actually before it even came out, a lot of hate after it came out, but in my opinion it didn't really deserve it, mainly because I don't know. But number 1 is a movie I saw and enjoyed. I don't understand why. I actually kind of do, because negativity gets views on YouTube. Of course, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. And maybe I'm biased because I am a Star Wars fan. It's a pretty good conclusion to the new sequel to this, to what's the Skywalker saga now. And I think the 3 leads, I always like the character of Rey. I know other people think she's too much of a Mary Sue, but I always liked her character, and I also like Poe and Finn, of course. Really entertaining Star Wars movie. Action scenes were fine. The space battles were terrific. It doesn't tie all loose ends together, so here's the thing. If this saga's finished, fine, but if they continue on, I'll be happy with that too. Was it perfect? No, there's a few flaws in it, but every movie has a few flaws. I don't think there was something people really needed to complain about. You either like it or you don't. But I think most Star Wars fans have enjoyed this. Most of the ones I've heard from have. So that's my number 1 for this. Okay, so as always, just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Adam, and I'll see you again soon.